1 in 10. That's how many cops in Miami were under active investigation for corruption at the same time. Not in some fictional city, not in a movie, in the real Miami. And GTA 6 is set in that exact city, in that exact era. So when you load up as a cop and start thinking about going dirty, you're not just role-playing a villain. You're walking into a story that already happened. This video is about what it actually looks like to play a corrupt officer in GTA 6, using the new mechanics that nobody's really talking about yet, and the real history that makes Vice City's setting so much darker than most people realize. And there's one thing buried at the end of this that completely reframes how the whole corrupt cop arc plays out. I'll get to it, but you need to understand the system first. Here's what most GTA content gets wrong about this. Everyone talks about the corrupt cop fantasy as if it's just about shooting people with a badge on. Shoot this guy, steal that car, abuse your authority. But that's not what makes it interesting in GTA 6. What makes it interesting is that for the first time in any GTA game, the police system is actually built on evidence, and if you're inside the system, you can manipulate it. Leaks and early footage suggest the wanted system in GTA 6 works through witness testimony, not omniscience. Witnesses are now central to your exposure. If someone sees you break the law, they can report the color of your car, the clothes you were wearing, and what you look like. Those clues then directly affect how quickly you get found. And leaked development footage has already shown messages like no vehicle description and full vehicle description, confirming this feature is real. So cops in GTA 6 don't just magically know where you are, they build a picture from the ground up. And a corrupt cop, one who's already inside the department, can poison that picture before it ever gets completed. Think about what that actually means. You commit a crime, you get back to the station, and the witnesses' descriptions are sitting in a report that hasn't been filed yet. You're the one who files it. You file it wrong. You leave out the vehicle, you change the clothing description. In previous GTA games, the wanted system treated you like the game already knew everything. In GTA 6, police will respond to crimes within a designated search radius based on last known activity. A massive upgrade from GTA 5, where cops would appear out of nowhere even miles from where the crime took place. That shift changes everything for the corrupt cop angle, because now there's actually something to suppress. There's a case being built in real time, and you're one of the people building it. And it gets more specific than that. There's a new witness mechanic in the leaked footage, where under the wanted level, the words full description appear. And separately, once a character enters a police vehicle, the game switches from no vehicle description to full vehicle description, with a prompt confirming that any vehicle you're seen entering becomes known to the law. That means individual vehicles get flagged, not just the player in general. So the corrupt cop strategy becomes commit the crime in a different patrol car, swap back to your unit, and that flagged vehicle is pointing at someone else's badge number. No GTA game has ever let you exploit the system from the inside like this. It's not a cheat code, it's a mechanic. Now here's where the real history comes in, and this is the part that should make your jaw drop a little. The Miami River Cops scandal was a major police corruption case that occurred in Miami during the mid-1980s, and it's considered one of the most significant instances of police corruption in United States history. GTA 6 is set in Vice City, which is Miami, during almost exactly that period. And the story of how those cops went dirty is almost beat for beat, the same as what you'd do in the game. The ringleaders and their crew had been shaking down dealers, stealing cash and product, then reselling the drugs themselves. And they used police radios, uniforms, and authority to pull off armed robberies disguised as busts. That's the escalation pattern. It didn't start with a boat raid. It started small. Traffic stops where cash went missing. A little product that never made it into evidence. Petty theft that nobody could prove because the cop was also the one writing the report. And then it grew. At one point in 1987, 100 of Miami's 160 police officers had been or were under investigation on corruption-related matters. 1 in 10. Not one bad apple, not a rogue unit. Nearly a tenth of the entire department, simultaneously dirty. And the reason it got that bad wasn't just individual greed. There was a virtual hiring frenzy in the Miami Police Department in 1981 and 1982 when 714 officers were hired, more than doubling the force's size by relaxing screening standards. The city was overwhelmed by a crime wave it couldn't handle, so it hired fast and checked slowly. When the city finally decided to beef up the department, 600 new officers were quickly hired, doubling the size of the force in less than 2 years. And as the chief at the time admitted, they ended up scraping the bottom of the barrel to do it. So the corruption wasn't just a moral failure, it was a structural one. The system was already cracked before anyone walked through the door. And that's the real setup for your character in GTA 6. You're not some outlier. You're a product of the environment. Vice City needed cops fast. It hired warm bodies. And now you're one of them, standing in a city drowning in cocaine money, holding a badge that nobody checked very hard before they handed it to you. And then comes the boat. In July 1985, 10 people dressed as officers forced their way into the Jones boat yard along the Miami River and raided a shipment of drugs on a pleasure boat named the Mary C, taking 350 to 400 kilograms of cocaine worth around $10 million. And during the raid, 3 of the 7-person crew drowned trying to escape. This is the moment the real-life corrupt cops crossed a line they couldn't walk back from. One of the most brazen drug heists in American history. And the people who did it had badges. No police report documented the raid, and the missing cocaine, allegedly seized but unaccounted for, triggered the scrutiny that unraveled everything. That's your GTA 6 mission. That's the heist that already happened in real life, in the city your game is set in. And the reason it works as a mission structure is because of something the game's new systems make possible that older GTAs never could. The delayed response. Leaks describe dispatch in GTA 6 taking real time to arrive at crime scenes. The response isn't instant. There's a window. And for a corrupt cop, that window isn't about outrunning anybody. You are the response. You're the one who gets dispatched. You choose whether you show up fast, slow, or not at all. You pull up to a crime scene you committed 20 minutes ago, you're the first officer there, and you start controlling what gets reported. That's a completely different power fantasy than anything GTA has offered before. You're not running from the law. You're deciding what the law knows. Now, here's the thing I mentioned at the beginning, the part that reframes the whole arc. The Miami River cop scandal involved a group of 19 police officers who were convicted of various state and federal crimes, including murder, racketeering, robbery, drug possession, civil rights violations, and conspiracy charges. The officers were convicted of a variety of offenses and given prison sentences that averaged 23 years. But one of them didn't wait around for the verdict. He ran. And he didn't just become a fugitive, he made the FBI's 10 most wanted list. A cop on the same list that career criminals spend their whole lives trying to avoid. That's where the escalation ends if you keep pulling the thread. Not with a shootout, not with a dramatic last stand, with your name on a list and a tip line that eventually gets you caught in Colombia. Leaks also suggest GTA 6's police AI includes surrender and negotiation behavior, not just shootouts. Most content about the corrupt cop angle assumes it ends in a blaze of glory. But the real version of this story ends with someone flipping on you, a covert recording sting, and a courtroom. The corruption in the real Miami scandal was uncovered during the investigation into the drownings, and when officers were apprehended attempting to sell the cocaine to undercover agents as part of a covert recording sting operation. The guy you trusted, the deal you thought was clean, that's how it ends. So here's what you actually have in GTA 6 that no other game has given you. A wanted system built on witness testimony that you can manipulate from inside the department. Individual vehicles that get flagged, not just the player, so you can shift suspicion to another unit. A delayed dispatch system that makes you the response time, not just the suspect. And underneath all of it, a real historical blueprint. A real city. A real scandal. A real escalation from traffic stop theft to federal fugitive. That proves this story isn't fiction. It already happened right there in Vice City. If you've never gone down the rabbit hole on the Miami River cops, do it after this. It reads like a rockstar mission briefing. And if you want to see how the evidence and wanted mechanics stack up against the rest of what's been leaked about GTA 6's systems, the video on this channel that breaks down the full police AI overhaul is worth watching next. It covers a few things that connect directly to everything I just walked through. Drop in the comments what you do first as a corrupt cop in Vice City.